how are we going to communicate that to a K to 12 audience?
Right.
A simple animation is a perfect way to do that. And additionally, some of our customers have concepts that are not yet created. They're just still ideas, or they are more technology based, like digital transformation, for example. We've made a handful of videos in the past couple of years going through what digital transformation means and how it would be executed. And at the time, there wasn't much tangibly that we could go and film or portray. So animation was the top choice for that.
Yeah. That makes sense to take a complicated subject, and it's kind of like, I mean, I'm thinking Miss Frizzle, but it's a little less than that. I think it's not a full cartoon.
Right.
All right. So I think we've covered a lot of what we wanted to. For the last part, do you guys want to go through start to finish what a production might look like for a customer? Just at like a high level. And then, like I said, in these next few episodes, we'll go over more detail on the entire process and what people could expect if they were working with us in the future. So want to do that?
Sure. Well, one of the things I think that makes us unique is our ability to understand the government client, the corporate client, the workforce development client. We've worked with a lot of customers that had sensitive information. So we're very skilled and flexible with working with that. Our process is always having a discovery kickoff meeting with the customer, talking about what their needs are and their objectives, their target audience, and then making our professional recommendations on we feel this format would be best to achieve your goals. Then we go into the concepting, the design phase. And the customer always has input along this process. So that's what's fantastic about the Avian team is the customer's always involved. We don't just show them a product at the end. There's touch points all the way through. So we storyboard. There's approvals. If we script, there's approvals on scripts. We have in-house voiceover capabilities that have been very well received with our customers and their audiences. And then we go into filming, editing, where we're very flexible. So, for example, with the recent COVID restrictions, we had to figure out how to film multiple speakers through multiple seasons. And we did it all outdoors so that the speakers would be free of any mask restrictions. And we could focus on the message and the speaker. Once we get to the video phase, we have an internal review, making sure that we've communicated appropriately, we've matched our concept sheet. And then the customer has 2 opportunities to review. And we hope at the first one, we're 90% there. And at the second review, we just have small changes. And then we deliver a product. We're skilled in 508 compliance. So, we can provide that. And then the other great thing is we can provide multiple formats. So we have customers that want to post to YouTube. We have customers that want to post to their internal SharePoint site. We have customers that want to post to their learning management system. So we produce the full SCORM file for them. So we really want to create a great product for our customers and then create a raving fan. So they keep coming back.
Yeah, I think one of the points that you kind of hit, and I'll just say it bluntly, I think what makes us different and our team different from some other video teams is that they are video companies that want to work with the government, where we are a government company that wants to create videos for the government. So we already have the comfort of working with the government customer. We already know the ins and outs of getting on base and working on base and have all that knowledge already. So it makes it a little bit more smoother for them, I think, rather than going out to somebody that wants to make a video and it just happens to be a government customer.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a whole internal team of SMEs and experts in the government business and outside.
Yes.
So it's been great because our team has been able to go out to internal SMEs and say, hey, is this an appropriate visual, just to confirm before we might show something to a client that, especially in something that's that's pretty technical. And that's been a great asset for us.
And even the things that are not so technical, but very important, like uniforms, making sure that if we are depicting someone in an animation, that they are the appropriate rank as we are intending them to be.
Not pulling any like Top Gun stuff.
Exactly. Yes. Making sure that the appropriate aircraft are shown if we are, covering multiple aircrafts in a video, or even sometimes, we have access to stock footage that the Navy produces, but we have to make sure that it comes from the right branch, because sometimes the same platform is in use by two different branches. And we are very, very deliberate about making sure that everything that we produce is going to connect with the audience, because just like in Top Gun, if something is off, then sometimes the audience will focus on that piece as opposed to staying with the message.
Yeah. And we'll stay on the Top Gun example. There, obviously, that normal audience that's just going to see a jet movie doesn't know it, but the Navy officers, the Navy community that went to that movie knows that the ranks were not correct, or knows that the awards on their chests were not correct. So some very detailed stuff that luckily we have access to people that know all that. So
the details definitely matter. Yes. Even my fiance and I were watching the show on Amazon Prime called The Terminal List. And even like the weapons handling in that show is actually very accurate. Like they are, racking the weapons and changing out their magazines appropriately. And there's nothing that like he hates more than when we're watching a show and someone just has never ending bullets. And he commented multiple times, wow, I can't believe how accurate this is. Like, this is fantastic. Right. So those small things definitely matter and definitely make a solid impression. So we try to be really, really cognizant of all the small details that add up to a large impression.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all we wanted to cover in this first episode. Did you guys have any last minute thoughts that you wanted to bring up?
I'm just really excited for all of the rest of the series to come out. We've got some great stuff planned.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So in the next episode, we are talking about the pre-production process, what you do before you actually come to the customer with cameras and microphones and all of the gadgets, what that looks like behind the scenes, and giving folks an idea of what to expect early on in the process. So Morgan, Tina, thank you. And we'll see everybody on the next episode.
Great.
Thank you guys so much for watching the first part of this episode. These episodes are split into 3 parts, and we'll get into a little bit more detail about what our process looks like and what you can expect in the next episodes of the Full Frame podcast. If you want to learn more about our video production team and specifically the virtual tours that they've produced, you can go to avian.com/virtual tours. That's avian.com/virtual tours. You can learn about all of the services that they provide and see some of the videos that they've produced in the past as well. Thank you again for listening to this podcast. Tune in next week for the next part of this episode.